What's going on, guys? If you haven't seen the chat lately, Animal Farm people, look at this stinky. Um, there's some drama. Let's get into it. I'll tell you what it is, and we'll give you some updates. Okay, guys, welcome back to the Crypto Wave. So, if you guys haven't been paying attention, and you probably have been, because most people who are still following along with me may still be in these farms and Animal Farm and all that kind of stuff. There was some pretty big drama going on in the chat earlier today. A lot of back and forth. Ray from Bartertown was in there, and what the heck is everybody mad about? Well, to be honest with you, there hasn't been an announcement. So the last AMA, as we know, when it typically happens, for some odd reason, the AMA did not happen. It just kind of didn't come to fruition. There was no, didn't happen, didn't start. There wasn't a whole lot of information, but there were some people that are in some private groups and things that, in essence, said Forex is going to, basically reschedule it because there's some kind of big things happening on the back end, but it was yet to be explained. Forex hasn't commented in the chats. So what happens in these chats when the main developer is radio silent and there's a lot of announcements? Well, what was the announcements that they said? Well, one of the things that was said is it was mentioned in a different live stream and as well in a private chat of some sort. I don't know if it was the DAO or something, that Animal Farm is going to get rebranded. In essence, getting away from the pigs, the dogs, the Animal Farm theming and changing it. That's speculation right now, but there seems to be, it's all but considered true at this point from when you read through the chat. It sounds like it was kind of pseudo-announced via other channels, although it hasn't happened in here yet. So, until Forex himself, or until there's an AMA that truly says that, it's speculation, but it does seem like it's leaning that way. So that's already the first thing people are getting upset about is, why in the world are we going to rename it? Why are we going to rebrand it? Especially since the last AMA before that, which was end of September, it was all saying, hey, we're ready to go. Version 3 is ready. We're actually going to be requesting people from the community to join and to test it and run it through the ringer. Expect that any day now. And even I, for one, was watching it the whole weekend, waiting for something that said, hey, can you test it? And that never came. So that's interesting. With that being said, everybody knows that Forex kind of delays things. So it went from, we're going to test, we're going to release a date, it's coming. Everybody should run their, join the public testing, to radio silence, possible rebranding, no launch date given, and delay. So where do I stand on this? Well, it's kind of tricky because a lot of people in this chat, if you read through this chat, make a lot of sense. They say, excuse me, as usual, midnight, I should just name it Midnight Crypto Wave. So there's people in here that are saying, listen, we were promised Scratchy. It never came to fruition. It kept getting delayed for different reasons. We were promised PIGGYBANK, and it was being developed and it was dang near complete. Never came to fruition. We were promised version 3. It's complete. We're going to do testing. Has yet to come to fruition. All these delays and all these promises, people are getting very, very upset. And you see it in the price. The price of dogs is going down. That's supposed to, when this new launch happens, is supposed to become deflationary, and people are waiting for that. There's a lot of people that are holding dogs and pigs. And although pigs has found some pretty good support around the $14 mark, it's having a rough go, and people are impatient in crypto. They see other people that they're able to flip their money and do whatever they need to do on another project, but a lot of people are loyal here, including myself. So it's tricky to say. They do raise good points. However, then you have to go back and think, okay, well, why were those points made? Well, for one, Scratchy just wasn't ready yet. It sounds like it's gonna have a much larger role in a different ecosystem that has to do with gaming. So it's a valid point. So you got to take it for face value in what he says. Same thing with Piggy Plinko. It's gonna go. Excuse me. It's gonna go into that gaming system that he's talking about as well. When he's explained the pricing and the way that the calls are priced using Chainlink and trying to come up with a better way that calls are priced so that it's much cheaper and more effective and more rapid to be competitive with other Plinko games, again, you take it at face value, it makes sense. And that goes with other things they've been developing also. DDD had all kinds of delays, but when it came out, it worked exactly as he said it was going to. Now, are a lot of people using it? No, but that's a community problem. That's not a Forex problem. Forex and his team developed and produced what they said they were going to. If the community doesn't use it, you can't blame Forex for that. Same thing goes with the farm. Same thing goes with Animal Farm. He can create the products, but unless the community utilizes it and they spread the word and other people come in, you can't blame the developer. Now, there are instances where, the developer is to blame in regards to projects that fail, because sometimes the developer leaves a vulnerability or it gets hacked or, various things like that. But I haven't seen that yet with Animal Farm. There hasn't really been a tragic event that has occurred. And part of that is due to the vigilance of Forex taking his time and making sure things are truly safe and as safe as they could possibly be going forward. So with that being said, what I expect, gosh dang it, I keep yawning, I'm sorry guys. What I'm expecting is there probably will be an AMA this week. It hasn't been announced yet, but my guess is we're going to get an AMA, and he's going to come on and he's going to explain why. Now, am I okay with the dogs and pigs theme with Animal Farm? Of course I am, and somebody in here, and I don't remember who was, also made another really good point, which basically said, listen, don't worry about, if you're trying to get that more streamlined professional banking feel, don't put so much emphasis on it, because if you really think about it, when you're going into PancakeSwap, PancakeSwap is the number one DEX on Binance Smart Chain, and when it came out, their coin is a pancake or a cake coin, and it's these cute little funny, childlike bunnies, and this thing is just a banger. It's the number one. Now, granted, it was the first mover average, and that's fine, and other things have come along, but as long as it's still professional and it is does what it's supposed to do and it's safe, then it'll be effective. And I think that's the same goes for Animal Farm, and I think that's what the original thought was in regards to updating the logos and updating the feel and updating the vibe of all this from where it was before. So that gentleman made a good point on here, but at the same time, I can also see, without knowing what's going on in the back end and knowing that, we're going to have fiat on-ramps. On his last AMA, Forex was talking about adding in loans where you can do direct peer-to-peer loans and possible Forex trading, decentralized. And there's a lot of kind of more centralized banking things that he's trying to put onto a decentralized platform. So is he going to, would he want to go for more of a professional look? I can see that also. The UI side of things, the user interface or the look of it, shouldn't have anything to do with the delay to the version 3. That's a completely different coding. The coding to make that work should be done like he said. It would just be a matter of what does the face of it that we see look like, which is more of a user interface type of thing. But as we know with Drip, it took them, he said they were giving Drip a facelift, and it took 2-3, he ended up having to fire one of the original ones because it wasn't going well, and he had to get somebody else on. So user interface alone could cause a delay. Now, will that delay of the user interface cause a delay of version 3? Maybe, maybe that's what he's thinking, and maybe that's why we have this delay here. I personally, I will always go with what he thinks, but I think it would be a misstep trying to delay version 3 in all of its hype and everything that he's been promising simply to give the a facelift to the UI. I feel like you'd be doing a disservice, especially if that UI facelift is going to delay things for weeks. If there's anything that this week in the chat has said is that people are frustrated. They don't like silence. And they're right. You can see both sides of it. Ray makes good points saying, listen, it's longevity. If the project works and it's safe, build it and they will come, so to speak. But while others are in crypto, it's, time is crypto, I guess you could say. So there's a lot of people that are just eager and chomping at the bit because as we know, and as I'm sure all you guys see, there's sometimes you almost have that gut feeling that if you were to move it someplace else, maybe you could get a better quick flip or something like that. Now, that's not my play, and as you guys know, I play it passively, which brings me to another point that Ray brought in the chat as well, which is like, listen, I don't know if it was Ray, it might have been somebody else, but, if you're worried about all this stuff and you're worried about your stuff being in here, tether it up, you know what I mean? A lot of what I hold in here, I have a little bit of BUSD with BNB, but a lot of what I've done is I've tethered it, and that tether just sits in the farm. Now, are those emissions going down? Yeah, they are, but, my tether value is consistent, so you can tether it. And I don't know where everybody else would tether it. You can tether it on a central exchange. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are probably holding USDT waiting for market turnaround and things, or buying when things dip. But in my opinion, and what I've been doing, and what I've been doing for just about a year now, is I just hold my, some of, not all, but some of my tethered value in here because it's just earning income. And as I do that, it allows me to slowly compound my positions and things. I'm up to 63 pigs over here. Dogs, in the dog pound, I've been compounding. Even if this continues to trickle down, I have dogs that I can start selling if it truly isn't going to work the way he says, or if he does something that's completely, throws me off. Again, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid of the Forex, but at the same time, I haven't been steered wrong yet. I'm a patient person. Others maybe not as patient. But bottom line is, there is some grumblings in here. So it'd be curious to see. That's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, are you guys good with the rebranding? Are you not good with rebranding? Are you comfortable with the rebrand delays version 3? Are you hoping it doesn't? I'm kind of curious. Oh, look at this. I scrolled right to where I said. So it actually wasn't Ray. It was this gentleman, whoever this is, Jordy. I don't see any problem with the brand name for Animal Farm, pigs and dogs. Just look at Pancake Swap. You have cakes. Really? Cake and pancakes. And they're almost all the liquidity on BNB Chain. If the brand works, if the protocol works, then people aren't going to mind. So exactly what I was saying. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Drop some comments below. Join the chat. Let's talk about it. I appreciate you tuning in. Sorry for the yawns. I know it's late, but that's kind of where we're at. In the meantime, I'm holding true. This is still generating for me, so it's safe. It's generating income. Why would I move it? But I can't wait for the next AMA to see what exactly is happening, what exactly is the plan, and when will we get version 3? I need that auto compounding. I think that's going to be a game changer. All right, guys. Have a good night, and thanks for tuning in.